Ms. DB, and in this video I'm going to show you how to graph inequalities in the program Desmos, and this website is www.desmos.com, and actually that brings you to this, and then you just click on Start Graphing. So in Chapter 6, after you do systems of equations, we switch over to inequalities, and you'll need to graph things like y is less than, let's just do x plus 2. I'll do x minus 2 because I didn't draw my area long enough for you to see the plus, but it's below here. So you can see that Desmos automatically will graph this for us. It knows that you use a dashed line for less than. I can turn this one off just by clicking on the colored dot. I can do y is greater than, and this time I'll do 2x. And you'll see that this also is a dashed line. If I did y is less than or equal to x, you see that's a solid line. Desmos also does different colors for each one that you do, so that's kind of nice. And y is greater than or equal to x. Let's do 5x plus 1. That's the purple area. I'm going to turn off the other two. So that would be y is greater than 5x plus 1, greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to or less than or equal to use solid lines, and less than and greater than use dashed lines. Also, if you start with the y, the less than, in addition to being a dashed line, you will shade below the line. Everything in the shaded region, every point here, would be a solution to this inequality. So I could have the point 2, negative, I'll do 2, negative 2. And you'll see that that point is in the shaded region. I could do a point, I'll do 6, 2. And that point is also in the shaded region. That means that if you replace x with 2 and y with negative 2, you would get a true inequality, because negative 2 is less than 0, which is what you would get if you put 2 in here. Alright, so let me scroll down a little bit. If you have y is greater than 2x, then you would shade above the line, because greater than you shade above. As long as the y is by itself on the left side, you can use that little shortcut. This time you see those points are not solutions because they are outside of the shaded region, and they would not work in this inequality. It is not true that negative 2 is greater than 4, which would be 2 times 2. And y is less than or equal to x. Since y is alone on the left side, we'd shade below that. And for the last one, y is greater than or equal to 5x plus 1, we'd shade above, because greater than you shade above. Also, Desmos has the advantage over Sketchpad in that you don't have to have y by itself in order to graph an inequality. I could actually graph x minus y is less than 8. And Desmos knows how to graph that without solving for y first. You could solve for y. You could add y to both sides and minus 8. In fact, I'll show what you would get. If you added y to both sides, you'd have x is less than 8 plus y, and then I would subtract, and I would have x plus 8. I'm using my keyboard on my computer now, and you can see that it also works. Oops. I'm supposed to subtract 8, sorry. And it's the exact same graph on top of the first graph. So I can turn one off, and there's the one, and here's the other one. Whoops. So they're the same thing. Or I could write the same thing would be y is greater than x minus 8. Same graph. So all three of these graphs, if I turn one off and show you the other one, are the same exact thing. And Desmos can do it. If you were using Sketchpad, you'd have to first write it like this: y is greater than x minus 8. But Desmos, you can use the other versions of it, so you can graph directly. Now the question is, let's say you're using Desmos to do your assignment and you need to show me your answers. The bad part about Desmos is, unlike Sketchpad, we can't just save this whole file. You can create an account and you can save your work and then you can send me a link. That's one way. But the other way that might be a little bit easier is just to take a screenshot of this. So you probably have some sort of screen capture already on your computer. Like you might have I don't know what you have, but I have Jing, I have Snagit, and I have, what's the other one called? Some kind of snap thing. I'm using Snagit to make my video, so I'm going to find Jing here. Oops. I think I'm going to find Jing. And then I'll show you how I use that to take a picture. If Jing opens here. Oh, there it is. So Jing is a free type of software that you can use to take a picture. And you can either take a picture with the inequality showing or just of the graph. It's up to you. And then I'm going to move this box up so you can see it. Actually, I'll make a smaller picture so you can see the box that's coming up down below. So I'm not showing maybe as much as I would have, but I wanted you to be able to see this box. So I can just capture the image and then I can copy it. So now it's copied and I can open up a Word document. I have many open already, but let's say this was the assignment. Here, I'll make a new one. Let's say I had a Word document that I was writing my answers in, and now I can just go to paste, or I can go to Control V, and there's my graph. So that's one way to use Desmos, maybe the easiest way. You can also zoom in and out, so if I needed to see more of the graph. When you get to section 6, you'll be graphing two inequalities at the same time. And you'll be looking for the region in which those two graphs overlap. And if I can change those points. Here, I'm going to change these points so that you can, these points would be places where they overlap, because that might be part of the assignment. Okay, so maybe part of the assignment says to name 2 points that are in the shaded overlapping region of the two graphs. So all you do in Desmos for section 6 is you would graph 2 of these at the same time. You can also delete these if you're not using them, or you can just turn them off. So let's say in section 6, a system of inequalities said to graph these two things. And where is the overlapping region? It's the part where both of them are. See, here's the first, or wait, sorry. Here's the first one, the purple. And when I add the second one, the overlapping is this dark region. So let's say I need to add this to my assignment. So I'm going to take a picture. I'll make it like that. And again, maybe you want these inequalities, maybe you don't. And then I just copy it. And again, if you have some other form of screen capture, that's just fine. Anything you have will work. It's just that you can't save the whole file like you can when you are using Sketchpad. So that's the advantage Sketchpad has over Desmos. All right, so then you would save your work and attach it, turn it in. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.